we need to see Andy be more of an assassin. Right there, he was kind of doing the thing that Homiefe was doing. He was waiting for his team to come up, and then he was like going into the back line trying to find a pick. Awilix, however, can get stuck out of position a lot. I want to see him transfer to someone like Hunbots or Kali.
So aggression.
Yes, much more aggressive play, because that's when Andy shines.
Let's see what if he does then. Picks and bans on your screen. Let's go. Round 2. SoaR up 1-0. Makes them 4-3 in the standings now. After the last game, Luminosity slipped to 6-3. Still high in the charts, but not as high as they were once before. Nisha, banned away.
Option to Luminosity, again playing from the top side. And it's going to be SoaR once again. This time I think they're going to switch it up. They're going to allow the Ullr through. I think they're going to ban the Khepri.
I think the Khepri, I think they wanted to get the Khepri online. Sorry, be against the Khepri there. They don't leave it up for any other reason than you want to be against Khepri because you want to try and do something. I guess they look for the Awilix box.
They're going to ban away Thor, fearing Homiefe more than Jigz. SoaR likely to run this one back, although Ullr is open.
And Ullr, like we said, Luminosity's picked it for themselves in both the Hunter role and the mid role before.
It's got to be Khepri. I mean, Jigz played amazingly that game. It's probably his best god from what we've seen throughout his play, over the last year and a half in the SPL.
Well, I'd say Sylvanas is pretty high up there too, but Sylvanas a little bit further on the meta now. Zeus will be a run back for TheBoosh in the mid lane, but will he get a different jungler to go alongside it this time? No!
Wow.
They will run Awilix again.
So there can't be a Thor pick. There must be some change at least going into this next pick phase for SoaR.
Long thought process from SoaR coming out now. Do they just want to... I wouldn't be upset as SoaR to look to run a similar composition. They're not going to get Thor this time, though, which it could be a bit impactful. So they will take that Ullr for Hurriwind this time instead of the Kronos, potentially. We may see Metyankey on it yet, but Hoyi's available.
Yes, I think we're probably going to see the Hoyi pick.
Will it be now, though, is the question. If it's not, I expect Luminosity to look for it
or
themselves.
It could be Kronos. Okay, Kuang. I like this pick because if Luminosity has to make it, actually they can't make it. They already have Awilix.
But Awilix could have been solo lane. We could have said that because they Kuang solo lane.
There's no way that Snoopy is ready to put Awilix in solo lane.
Realistically though, his Kuang would play very similar to an amateur Rossum in solo lane. Farm under the tower, stay alive, late game come online, destroy.
Oh, whoa, you're crazy.
Well, talk about a different comp. I mentioned the Bacchus from Jeff in the last game. I expect him to go for that, but they went for the Sobek. This time though, the Drunk Master is here. Jeff, famous for it. He loves this god to bits. This is be the 4th time he plays it this season.
So what's weird is I think Bacchus actually functions better against Thor, considering the fact that he's able to get over that wall, he doesn't get stuck out of position, and to the same point, I think Sobek does better against Kuang, having that CC immune ultimate and forcing Kuang to use his teleport. So I'm wondering why Bacchus here. Perhaps they're going to try to all in the Kuang before he can hit the ground. Ban phase, Hoyi getting taken away from SoaR, which kind of dictates that we're going to see Ullr in the duo lane.
Would like to see a Kronos ban by Luminosity. You called this a little bit earlier, and I still would like that taken off the table, just because we could see Hurriwind run that in mid lane instead, or Metyankey even run it over in the duo lane. Instead, though, they're going to fire both shots once again at Baskin. This time around, though, it was Bellona as well as Osiris. I can't remember the other one that was the ban last time, actually.
And a very smart Amaterasu ban, knowing that this is Snoopy's go-to god. They're going to take it off the table. Luminosity looking for Hunter, and they're looking for solo.
They're looking for tier right now. I'd look for tier against the matchup, whatever matchup we're going to see come out from SoaR this time around. It does probably port Baskin on a Guan Yu, I'd say, but I'd be okay with this. Apollo.
Yes, I think this is good.
Apollo.
A lot safer than Rama. Has 3 major escape tools, lots of damage. Shout outs to the 109 out there. But yeah, SoaR option. They're looking for likely their mid, although it could be Ullr. Vamana going to be taken for solo. Very safe, high damage, good counter against both Zeus and Awilix in the endgame.
Final pick, Kronos still on the table. Will they look for it again? But Ullr has been played by Hurriwind so far this season, so maybe it'll be a different sort of major. No, it'll be Anhur.
Wow.
Very physical heavy composition here. They're going to be relying a lot on the magical damage coming out from Homiefe's jungle Kuang here.
I don't want to see Frostbound Hammers for the first time in my life from Luminosity. I could see one perhaps, but really, Witchblade is the answer here. Reducing the power and attack speed of Anhur, Vamana, and Ullr is paramount. And it's going to be Bakasura, my current pick for probably the best character in the game, but is untested. The theory dictates that this character should be able to carry games alone.
Well, in theory, because in the old days of Bakasura, when he was in the meta, it was him versus Warriors. He would win matchups versus Warriors time and time again. He's now technically back in the meta because of his ability to wave clear a little bit more effectively by not having to wait for a minion to get low, as well as jungle invades.
He's a much different beast than he was in Season 1. and Season 2. A lot of that having to do with the fact that his level 5 is no longer a guaranteed kill.
That's right.
There was a point in time where when you hit level 5, very similar to Rework Bastet, you were guaranteed a kill due to how much damage those minions were doing. That's no longer the case. They're not a threat anymore, and that initial burst when they come out isn't nearly as threatening as it used to be. The new Bakasura has the ability to just straight up swallow a boar or harpy, which was something he couldn't do unless they were 33% or lower in HP. This should ensure Snoopy a ton of guaranteed kills on stolen boars, much more farm going into the mid game, and a lot of damage, as he should be 2 to 3 levels higher if he plays this correctly.
It's also, when you talk about lane Bakasura as well, one of the things that people don't take into account is the big brute minion you get in the wave. He can swallow that hole now. Where
he's always been able to do
He
that.
wasn't able to. He used, I'm sure.
He's always been able to do that.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Maybe I was wrong. I thought that was a big impact in them because I was like, oh, I can just eat that big brute minion straight away. I was like, okay.
Oh, no, he's always been able to do that. That's one of the reasons he was able to fight against the Warriors, is because the Warriors had a deal with that brute minion. It would always be alive after you did your fearless combo.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just like, swallow that. Plus, don't forget, throwing dagger's a thing now.
He's gone throwing dagger? Wow.
Right, exactly. So you're able to actually eat that brute minion and then just start clearing the wave as fast as possible. And watch this. Snoopy's eat minion's already back up, and he's going to pull this. He doesn't actually want to do damage to it. He just wants to pull it closer to Snoopy so that he can get out of there faster. He'll be a little bit later to lane, but that's okay because Snoopy now pushes this with throwing dagger faster than Baskin can and eats his boar too.
However,
it's mealtime.
Oh, but what is this? Gank over here early as well. They're looking for a pick. Feed Snoopy early is the call. Is they going to get an RNG crit under the tower? Butcher Blades was used, but it's not enough to find the kill. No Butcher Blades used. I should say. He went for the leap there. Was a call actually as they look for the invade here. Beginning of the game, both Harpies also went the way of Luminosity.
Ooh, okay.
I believe they both went the way of Luminosity as well.
Oh, wait, no. Left side should have gone to SoaR.
Right. So right went to SoaR, left went to Luminosity.
Which gives nothing for the mid laners to do, which means having Andy rotate in the solo lane doesn't lose too much. That's a really good play.
Crazy little back and forth there, but Snoopy and Baskin both fighting this lane for now.
Nice dodges by Snoopy there. You might have missed it if you blinked. He's able to get in, hit the auto attack, and back out before Baskin was able to return damage. He also winds up dodging the Umbrella Ring as well by baiting a path forward, the same posture he took the first time he attacked. So already conditioned is Baskin, and that might be a bad step so far.
Well, we mentioned the 10% crit, but I've not seen Snoopy crit so far in this lane.
Which is crazy because Snoopy is the crit god. That's what he does.
Well, he's lost it now.
Do you remember the Mercury?
He's lost it.
It wasn't 10%. It wasn't even 10%. It was 7.
And he's back again, though. Not to actually look for a kill, but to put pressure on this Vamana early and soak some experience. But Snoopy's under pressure here. Overcommitted, and Baskin punished him heavily.
I think a lot of it also has to do with the fact that Andy is splitting waves on both sides of the map because Snoopy is getting so much extra farm. He's trying to give it to the jungler, but it winds up not paying off as well, but considering Andy's now stuck in this lane.
Is it also because we can see Baskin's maxing his 2 this game as well? He put 2 points into his 2 instead of the... Yeah, he did. Baskin has put 2 points into 2. I guess he wants to burst down the backer, potentially, because the extra damage you can get for that is easier to confirm than the Umbrella Rank. You don't like it?
Oh, I'm sorry, Baskin.
Yeah,
I
Baskin.
Thought you meant Snoopy. I'm sorry. I'm like, why would he level the... Oh, first blood
great
possibility. Sprint going to get active, but JeffHindla is going to just swing that meat at him. No problem.
Yeah, the Drunken Master is in the house once again. Giving him the first blood as well will help him out, but a rotation from Hurriwind trying to punish him. Immediately, BaRRaCCuDDa recognizes it and dashes away before they can commit anymore.
JeffHindla walking forward to keep it off. Trouble here for Metyankey. Level 4 should be able to walk away from this one, but his jump is down, and Anhur's going to find a kill. Both members of the duo lane die for the side of SoaR. Luminosity finds himself 2-0 already.
I mean, Metyankey be that far up on that lane after Jigz time is a little bit risky to begin with. You know he had Hurriwind coming in, but Hurriwind backed away, and a bit of communication error there by SoaR, punished by Luminosity.
Honestly, I don't think that was a little risky. I think that was downright absurd. Like, why would you even think to go into the enemy jungle?
Well, right Harpy's being contested there. Looks like they went the way of Luminosity. Left one's due to spawn Hurriwind in position.
Can we actually hover on Anhur?
Onto Anhur?
Did Anhur jump? Because he has it. Okay, that's what I wanted to see.
Maybe it's on cooldown.
I mean, I guess he must have jumped earlier on. I think I missed that. Maybe that's when Jigz died. He jumped away from the fight. Because it must have been like 1 second away.
Well, talking about Hunters and the fact of builds at the moment, Hurriwind going for Transcendent start here, not the throwing dagger that a lot of these have been going into just lately, and I like this.
Yes, on Ullr, mana is way more important than clear. He has clear built into his kit, and going into that 2v2 in the mid lane, I mean, Kuang has a fair amount of control, and Speaking of control, SoaR down 2 kills and yet undeterred as they walk into the jungle and steal away the blue buff.
Vamana being able to get lane control off Snoopy so that he loses on blue is painful for this solo lane assassin. And there's the max of the 2 that you can see the beatdown that sets up the Kuang for the kill.
And so smart by Homiefe. That whole time, Snoopy, you're seeing him turn around and step backwards. The reason for this is because he can see that he's within threshold for the ultimate. And he doesn't want to waste his ult and try to bait Homiefe into it. What he wants to do is use his purification and try to burn it down. And there was no way to do that if he's dead.
Big response from Luminosity, though, knowing how Kuang's on the other side of the map. Go for the Gold Fury, unrecognized by SoaR. That's a very similar to game 1 where SoaR got one for free. Luminosity returned the favor this game. The
difference here is that Luminosity had the ability to rotate into that Gold Fury, and they didn't. SoaR, however, didn't really have the ability. That was a 100%... I would say 50. No, that's not a good way to do it. It was a risk at best. Okay. They were looking for a steal. They would have been out of position, and even with Jigz ult, there wasn't a way to guarantee it. Hail of Arrows would have been the highest damaging ability, and there's no way that it's going to be leveled enough.
In mid has been caught out of position a little bit. They're going to get pulled in by Awilix. Turned on, has to ult himself in place. There was nobody here to protect him. His reinforcements are coming, but it'll be too late as Andy gets the kill. Jigz was just waiting for the wave, but the minions coming into the lane showed where he was, and they went, let's just get him.
Do you know the term meaty? Meaty. It is not a term that we use very often in the MOBA community. It's generally seen as a fighting game term. And what meaty does is you throw out an attack early so that the hitbox will have already existed when your ability to be hit by it exists. So in that case, he winds up throwing out the Moonlight Charge probably 2 or 3 frames earlier than the respawn actually happens. That way the hitbox is inside Jigz, immediate attack, while he's respawning, so guaranteeing no escape. There's no escape possibility. He actually doesn't even have enough time to turn around. This guarantees not only the knockup, but a longer and better auto attack chain for andinster, given the fact that the animation is ending earlier for him by the time the attack connects, guaranteeing a stronger feather step and a brilliant play.
And for those at home that don't really understand that, think of a Vulcan ultimate after a Nijar ultimate. The Vulcan ultimate on point for the landing means you cannot escape.
It's meaty as hell.
Very similar situation.
That is absolutely meaty.
Hurriwind coming around the side looking for an axe. Going to hit onto Bacchus, and Bacchus going to take a little poke there. Oh, the abducts. He's going to silence him. He's evaporated. Baskin gets credit. Response, though, from BaRRaCCuDDa with the ultimate. Crashing in comes BaRRaCCuDDa looking to return it on Hurriwind. Hurriwind gets the kill on the back, though. Homiefe takes out BaRRaCCuDDa for his discretion. But now it looks like Andy's going to be trying to 2v1. He was looking for Homie, but Baskin going to look for the double tap. Both of them miss.
And now we're in some trouble. BaRRaCCuDDa rotates over and finds himself a kill. And will continue forward. Snoopy actually does get caught in the jungle as well.
I did like what BaRRaCCuDDa did there. He saw Baskin and, you're good. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with this one, but I will try and defend this red buff.
Who's gonna get it? And it will go to BaRRa.
Good work from BaRRa there. Just defending that, using the SoaR Beautiful at the same time. They both had pretty equal damage, honestly, to try and confirm that one.
Actually, I would say that Baskin had the advantage.
I'd say that too, I guess, because there's travel time more than anything.
Travel time, and there's I think a little bit more damage, no?
I'd say about the same.
Oh,
depending on build, I guess, and how far in the build. Warrior Tabby online, so I guess. But Metyankey here, though, swinging all the way round to the right-hand side to try and make something worthwhile for SoaR in this engagement. They will get that, but in the jungle...
What the hell, Jeff?
Jeff goes in, gets intoxicated off. Hurriwind, though, drunk, landed the axe.
Don't jump.
Returned damage, but he's dead.
There's nowhere to... He knew it, too. He's like, I have nothing to do here. My purification isn't up. If I jump, I die. I think I would have liked to see him jump just to burn the cooldown off of Andy.
That's not a bad idea. Right? I can understand that too. I like what he did, though. He was drunk and still under the axe, which was quite impressive, to be fair. And then tried to drunkenly walk back to the tower like, okay, goodbye. I'll disappear now after chain lightning slows me down. Mid lane pressure from Luminosity, but Homiefe around the back looking for BaRRaCCuDDa yet again. Immediately purifies. Oh, he purifies the belly flop, but still gets exploded by BaRRaCCuDDa.
Dude, I was on Team Homiefe for that
me
gank.
Too, me too. I was like, whoa, what a fight.
That was a good gank. He was near his tower. He had a lot of control. He used the purification to avoid the belly flop knockup. He was like, I'm going right for it.
And BaRRaCCuDda's like, you what?
BaRRaCCuDda's is like, yeah,
what are you doing?
I can't do that. Can you do that one more time?
You what?
What?
You what?
What does that mean?
It just means, what are you doing? You what? Pretty simple.
XD.
47, a little bit of a higher kill count game. Last game, we were at 20 minutes and it was 5 kills total for the game. This time we're at 11 in less than 8. And you can see by the graphs, Luminosity, I'd say in control of this one based on the graphs, but it's still anyone's game.
Wow.
For now. I'm waiting for Snoopy to actually turn up to these team fights.
Snoopy is not high enough level. Snoopy should be level 14 right now. And
he's 2 levels
well, maybe
down.
not level 14.
No, he's not 2 levels down. That's a lot.
But he should be higher. He should definitely not be down as Bakasura.
but he's been bullied. His tower's about to fall as well. Metyankey helping with the pressure of that one. Looks like Luminosity trying to fight on this left-hand side here. You can even see BaRRaCCuDDa's around this area as well. Jeff going to go in, look for the flop.
Nice.
Illusioned by Homiefe. Nice pillar coming out from Metyankey just to slow down Jeff. Now that he's not got his jump, they're going to turn their attention to him. Drunk goes off, but Barra's in the sky. They're going to turn this?
They might be able to. Tried for a return, but
BaRRa.
Bear's going to find one. And no! Jigz ults the wrong person! BaRRaCCuDDa able to find a double as a result. The mechanical mistake cost him a long trip back to the base. And the worst news available is Gold Fury's up in 6.
Complete bad news. It's going to be up and available, and immediately they're going to return their attention there. Still, though, Baskin over the side pressuring Snoopy, who does not have teleport here either as Snoopy. Baskin, however, does. He could turn up to this fight if there is a ward, which I don't see.
No. There is not enough time here for Baskin to rotate. Second Gold Fury of the game will go to Luminosity, and Baskin's rotation will be not for much.
Give me a replay. Hopefully it's of BaRRaCCuDDa in that engagement because he had a very, very good time of things there. I know he's going to cut away from the action, but BaRRa's crashes in after Jeff dies and immediately gets a very good off onto 2 targets, I might add. Purifications, Homiefe immediately, who was trying to get out of the fight, picks up Jigz, didn't go diving in for Metyankey, but still get out with a win.
Well, I mean, there was no way to do it. Once that, Khepri ult winds up on Anhur, you don't really want to mess with that anymore, but I don't think that Jigz meant to hit Anhur. I think he meant to hit himself, and just the selflessness and team-oriented player that he is, it resulted in going into the wrong person.
This season for me is all about Hunters. As in not Hunters the actual character, but the actual players of the AD carry role at the moment. BaRRaCCuDDa, Zapman, Metyankey. So many of these guys are stepping up this season. It's crazy to see. Zapman.
Dude, Zapman.
Oceans. Another one. See?
Yes,
these names, they're everywhere right now.
These, so many. And that's just North America.
Yeah.
I mean,
Europe's in a pretty similar spot. Reels,
Reels.
Even on losses, is doing well. Emelito, okay, he's on an uptrend again after having a bit of a couple of awkward games, but then you've got Shaky Shank who's uptrending too.
Reels and Zapman, I just want to watch the one-on-one. Like, with the way those two have been playing this season, like, I just want to watch Reels and Zapman fight all day.
Rama versus Rama would be a really interesting match. And Apollo versus Apollo as well. EU and NA style.
But Reels is going to make some excuse about trying to fight Zapman. He's like, oh, no, I can't fight with that ping. Like, coward.
Wow. What was that about? You just fire shots all the time. Why you not actually said anything about BaRRaCCuDDa negative today for a change, by the way? Just want to put that out.
What do you mean?
Every single time BaRRa's been on the screen, just like you've been saying, it's an easy roll.
I forgot.
You forgot until just now?
I haven't been playing ranked ADC.
I'm sorry, BaRRa. I didn't mean to bring it back up if you'd forgotten.
Oh, look, BaRRaCCuDDa got a double kill.
It was so easy. He's playing Apollo. Just use across the sky with his infinite mana.
Yeah, they made it easier.
I know they did.
My God, no, but...
Tuning in with Apollo now, though. Level 13, 4-0-1 with Iqbal. Now working towards what looks like... Is that going to be Soul Eater?
No.
What is it then?
Bloodforge. Well...
Are you sure?
I mean, well, it can't be Soul Eater now. That would have been Bound Gauntlet. He just
Blinking
changed it
from Andy,
into
though.
Curse Gauntlet.
I think Andy just No. He was actually looking for a cheeky player there, Andy. I think he was... Maybe he missed the blink. He overtimed the blink and then threw it through the wall to try and find a turnaround, but didn't find it.
I'm still thinking about this Curse Gauntlet. I mean, it could be Bloodforge. It could still be Devs. It's early.
It's not that early.
Well,
75 stacks.
When we talk about Warlocks, we say 16 minutes is the max.
Hurriwind under pressure, going to get flopped in the air. Purifies to try and get away from the Andy ult, but gets hit some of the damage off from BaRRa's. BaRRa's in the sky, though, to create his own. Joins his team, takes a tier 1 tower. This is better from Luminosity.
Baskin rotates over as well. He's hiding in the jungle, but I think he's here just as a countermeasure for an extended push. He'll get some damage probably here on BaRRaCCuDDa. Yeah, just a little bit. Just
a little bit. BaRRa's going to walk away from that one, but Luminosity looking a lot better this game, honestly, compared to the first game where they didn't seem to get any sort of synergy. This time around, though, Jeff, I think the difference is, I want to put some of this on Jeff because Jeff game 1, Charge Prey was not connecting.
It wasn't.
Which was causing issues. Game 2, though, the belly flops are connecting, and that's been the difference maker, I feel, in this game so far.
That and, of course, BaRRaCCuDDa's double at the end there, ensuring major amounts of damage. And look at Baskin. I mean, he's just, like, ready to fight this, and that clear the path was amazing. Not only did he actually clear the minions, but he wasted the Butcher Blade activation as well.
Every time Butcher Blade comes up, he uses clear the path, goes through the minions, allows him to clear it, especially with the Bluestone too, is helping. And now SoaR, though, they're going to look to invade on the red buff here. Luminosity in a semi-decent position to defend it, but there's only 2 members. They're going to have to give this up.
And yeah, it's gone. And that's going to go to Homiefe. And let's check the build out. He's got a Doom Orb, which of course is not fully stacked just yet. Has his penetration boots online. Next up, probably going to be Polynomicon.
Talk about his build though, going for the Doom Orb over the boots in order here. I think he went back to base and potentially went for Lost Artifact and then Boots 1.
Yeah.
And then transitioned into that later on, because I expect Boots should have been finished first. Pretty sure they were.
I think that's the way that they did it.
It seems that way. Transcendence is fully online for Hurriwind in the mid lane now. Probably looking for an Assy up next. As we look up at the other two hunters, it is going to be Devourer's Gauntlets. It is 13 minutes in the game, though. It takes 75 stacks, but
So like I was saying, you know, Warlocks takes 100 stacks, and we say that 16 minutes is the end game timing. Like, if you have it built at 16 minutes, you'll generally be okay. It's 25% less stacks.
Engage in mid lane on Jigz, who tried to abduct away, but instead abducted their target. Going to get intoxicated, pulled back in.
Man.
No chance to use the ult on yourself. Evaporation of knockup into knockup into knockup.
That was crazy.
And now?
Snoopy cannot box Baskin.
No.
That much is clear.
Snoopy's just holding, Baskin's just holding that clear the path every single time.
Yeah.
Any moment that we see Snoopy go for that, what I'd like Snoopy to do though is like pop Butcher Blades, and the moment Baskin looks like he's going to go for that clear the path, pop his ult. Because that's going to freeze Baskin in place.
Look at this guy. Can we actually hover on Baka? I want to see his level order. Now we know he went into Eat Minion. No, he went into Takedown?
Maxing Takedown over his ultimate?
No, maxing Takedown over Eat Minion. Eat Minion winds up healing you for like
so it should be a second.
hundreds.
It should be second max after Butcher Blades.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Oh yeah.
At the moment, pressure of the tower is Snoopy here. Baskin going to run him down again.
Death.
Beat down on, leaps away, but towards minions, and the minions will help him with the bluestone to pick up the kill. Baskin gets the kill, soloed under the tower with the help of minions, and then immediately SoaR, with that kill, will turn their attention to the Gold Fury, knowing that Baskin can teleport to this fight.
A rotation coming over from Baskin, indeed.
Zone G for him.
Right to the front line. Him and Jigz both covering different paths as well. Hurriwind's here. They have double Hunter.
Keep an eye on JeffHindla. He is Bacchus. He is the drunken god with the Intoxicate that will do a lot of damage. Chainline in, pokes out, helping with the Gold Fury. Gold Fury is not reset. It is now, though, for a second, as Jeff is getting very, very low and has to get away, but an Impale from Metyankey is good to force him to leap out.
Homiefe activates the Dragons, but might not see much use of them. That's a very long cooldown that he's going to incur.
It's a very good shell as well coming out from the side of SoaR there, just in response to that detonator, as Jeff still trying to help out his team and hang around here. Barry's in the sky, though. He may look at going in here, but the heals are good on the side of SoaR, and the ultimate is off the mark from BaRRaCCuDDa there, as now they look for BaRRaCCuDDa, who's overextended and alone.
Yeah, he's put himself pretty far out of position. Nice use of the Sanctuary, nice use of the beads, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough to keep him in the front line for very long. Baskin chases it down beautifully and pushes him out.
Oh, and even gets the double tap over the wall too. Gold Fury still under threat here. Snoopy's around, has his ultimate available. Butcher Base was just used, however, and Baskin and Homie may try and zone him away, and they will do so and get the Gold Fury. Let's go to the graphs and see the change.
Wow, look at that spike right back up. Gold all but even now at less than 300, and of course the experience difference 2K, and I think a lot of that having to do with Baskin now 2 levels ahead of Snoopy.
I'm actually feeling NA this season is going to come down to Team A beats Team B, but Team C beats Team A.
Yeah.
And it's going to be that way.
Well, except for Enemy,
season.
who just seems to beat everyone.
And he's just, except Denial.
Is that who they lost to?
Denial was the split. It was because, you know, Vicium and Salt Machine, they know how to deal with pain, clearly.
Are you sure?
Yes, that was the one win, the one loss of the season, was in a split with Denial.
Wow, wow, wow.
Really surprised when you think about it.
And today, I mean, the first game against Envy was an incredible comeback. The second one was Fate, though. There's no way that Envy can win with Nemesis. It's
just in their lines.
It is embedded into the canon of Smite's history. Yes.
Forever and ever. Amen. 17 minutes in, 17 kills involved as well. So 1 kill a minute this game, a lot quicker pace in terms of kills from last game. Still a tactical duel, though, as now we've seen 2 Gold Furies. 3 Gold Furies is it now?
I think that's 1 to 2, yeah.
Yeah, 3 Gold Furies gone down, 2 in the favor of Luminosity, 1 to SoaR. Moving things up as we look at aggression by Luminosity over in duo. But Barry needs to watch it because Jigz is coming around the back here.
Jigz is going to find a route onto BaRRaCCuDDa, yes, and is in a lot of trouble. Activates the Purification, walks away.
Uses the Mez and the Purification to get away from that engagement. The rest of the team recognize that he would have been okay with his ultimate available too if he needed it, although the burst is good. But Baskin, they're trying to answer back to this aggression over in the duo lane with Baskin rotating around. Snoopy's nowhere near here yet, and he's not really looking for a kill here, Baskin. He's more looking, if he can find it, a chance to keep him busy while they get the tower. But Baskin's dead.
Oh, I was going to say Detonate wasn't enough immediately, but it turned out to be enough.
What's
and now
BaRRa doing?
BaRRaCCuDDa's going to try to take to the front line, maybe cut them off, look for a big
Snoopy
mez
around the
here.
back as well. Keep an eye on that. Snoopy trying to swing in, looking for an opportunity, but a good impale from Yankee says no. Homiefe will slap him with a Dragon 2 just to say, get out of our face.
Snoopy had a beautiful blink ult opportunity for the cripple, which should have allowed BaRRaCCuDDa to land. I wonder what the call was to force him to not do it.
Was it waiting for Barry's Mez to come back up because he had used it on the disengage, but I guess it was around that time it was up anyway. Anyway, Luminosity trying to pressure this at the moment, but Snoopy's very low on the back here, so they've got to watch out out for him. And instead, Luminosity going to use Meditate. Jeff off the mark with the flop. The stun's going to be good on Homie, yo. And Homie has the illusion away and used the purification, but Hurriwind will get credit for the kill, combining with Metyankey.
And there goes
the blink.
But look at that Sanctuary usage. Metyankey may be able to get out of this one. Beautiful!
Jigz ult was amazing, and now Met's still alive, but Met's still under pressure. Andy will fall to the tower pressure as well. 1-for-1 trade in that little skirmish there as Jeff fell earlier.
That's definitely worth on the side of SoaR, able to walk into that fight in a very bad situation and maybe even get out of it. Snoopy in some trouble. There's nowhere to go.
Blue stone for the win.
Stone pendant.
And because of that whole little engagement there, the tier 1 tower does fall for Luminosity, but it was a Luminosity assault. SoaR come back, assault back, Baskin dies, and then Luminosity go aggressive again, find the tower, lose a couple of people for it though. And now it's back to SoaR, who may look to try and pressure this left-hand side with Baskin still over here.
That was strange. And I think it goes all the way back to Snoopy getting impaled in the jungle, not against the wall, not taking a lot of damage afterwards, just 310 to the gut. And he just didn't ult, he didn't blink. He didn't do the things we expected him to do in a situation where they definitely had the advantage. They instead went for the more assassin-style gank, and it was just a great play by Jigz, honestly, that got them out of there.
Well, player damage charts, you can see the Hunter starting to climb up there. Now, BaRRaCCuDDa is top of the charts, though, now with 18,000. 7,000 behind is Baskin, who's having a very good game so far, to his credit. But my oh my, is BaRRaCCuDDa swinging.
Sovereignty and Heart Ward both available for Jigz as he backs. We know that he doesn't like to finish boots until last. Does he go into cooldown reduction? Breastplate, Spirit Robe. He took his back. What does he build? Nothing. Wards.
Wards win games.
Boring.
I would have liked him to get a little bit more mobility online. I know he doesn't like building until the end, the boots, but boots can give you a lot. Cooldown reduction, penetration, mana, health regen, mobility, extra health. There's multiple things that boots can give for a very cheap amount.
I like the cooldown idea, especially on Khepri.
With the ultimate especially, yeah. I'll allow it to be available a little bit more. So, a bit of an awkward lull in the game now as the Gold Fury. We're waiting for it to respawn, which should be relatively soon, and see a fight over that again. But the towers being down has kind of opened the map up a bit more now.
So, you said the ultimate. I think it's more about Solar Flare, and I think Solar Flare is probably the most underrated move that we talk about as casters, or maybe even, people out there in TV land.
I'll be honest, the only reason I don't call out that ability is because I always forget its name. And I don't want to say Khepri's 2, so I won't say it.
Well, that's Rising Dawn.
Oh, there we go then. I know Abduct and I know Khepri ult, that's it.
No, I feel you on that.
That's all I know about Khepri,
I know Khepri passive.
Because in team fights, you're not going to call them out too much, but you would.
Solar Flare is such a unique ability because there's very little ranged CC in this game, especially from the support end of things. He has the ability to throw out a rather large circle and root people in place, forcing them, if they want to engage, to use movement abilities in situations where they might not want to.
I agree as well, because roots are something that gets underestimated quite a lot of how much of an impact they make in the game. For example, Tyr gets really hurt badly by roots multiple times.
I mean, the only way to get out of them is to dash out of them, or wait the duration, which sucks. And does Unyielding, it doesn't affect roots, right?
It doesn't know, because it's hard CC, I believe, with Unyielding is the reason.
Yeah, you have the mezzes, you got the taunts, you got the stuns.
I think mezzes counts as a hard
Silence
CC.
he eats as well.
Yeah, it does.
I wonder if, I don't know about the roots. I would assume he doesn't.
Pretty sure it doesn't, because that's why Neef's not too bad against him either. Be able to get away. Anyway, no Tyr in this game, because we saw a Bakasura picked up by Snoopy. And talking about Bakasura a little bit more, level 18 at the moment. 0-4 is Snoopy. He's had a rough time up against Baskin, and to be fair, it was kind of expected with the experience that we've seen out of Baskin.
What was that activation of Butcher's Blades? By throwing that cooldown away, he is guaranteed that he has no ability to pressure this wave. I would like to see them rush it in.
Left-hand side, andinster gets the feather step off on Metyankey, who purifies it perfectly. BaRRaCCuDDa comes crashing in, doesn't want to dive too deep though, so they're going to look for Jigz instead, as Jeff focuses on taking out the carries away from the fight, leave Jigz isolated. His ult will go off, he's still alive, he abducts away, he's still safe, but the detonate from BaRRaCCuDDa will put him back under the tower. Baskin joins the fight now, however, to create a front line for SoaR.
And he does it beautifully. He just walks right in there, makes sure that his support can get back into the fight. Hurriwind now forcing out the ultimate from BaRRaCCuDDa. Baskin trying to get away, a return possibility from JeffHindla, and he gets the kill with the feather step.
Round the back though, there is a Homiefe coming in, keeping an eye on the BaRRaCCuDDa as we're looking at Jeff tanking the tower. Homie comes in though, looking for the pick on andinster. Feather step was good, but Homiefe's illusion was better.
He not only gets the kill onto Andy after baiting the feather step, but he gets the purification as well, as Andy expects that it's going to be the ultimate. It doesn't it doesn't wind up being that at all. It's just a beautiful shot and gets the kill regardless with the teleport explosion.
However, Luminosity get the tier 2 tower, but Metyankey after being forced back to base meets Snoopy, and Snoopy is losing this trade against Met. It was very close, but not close enough. Metyankey survives.
That was actually depressing. Metyankey didn't do anything there that I think would consider that outplayed. It's just like he activated his Sanctuary, and Snoopy, because he didn't farm well enough, didn't have enough damage.
Didn't have the damage at all to be able to bring him down, unfortunately.
And I think that has to do with the fact that this build is not a Bakasura build.
So is the Deathbringer the issue here, straight to death, or?
I mean, let's add it up.
Good, right?
Let's add
is good.
Let's add it up. If he has 3 hits off, which he does, he has 30 damage from the Iqbal. Okay,
Right.
And then he's going to get 40 from the boots and 20 or so from the throwing.
Are we talking about? Are you saying power is important on the Bakasura? Because I believed it was always attack speed was a big focal point.
Well, right. That's what I'm getting at. If you're going to build a Deathbringer, you're drastically increasing the amount of damage that you already have.
Okay.
That's the point.
Right.
And with this build, with that amount of damage, he just doesn't have it. He's relying on a 30% chance to crit, 35 of course with the Hidden Dagger, which means 1 in every 3. Which means when he needed that final hit, he only had a 1 in 3 chance of it doing enough damage to get the kill.
But then again, you said it was Snoopy, and Snoopy's the master of crit, so...
Well, on Mercury.
Wow.
Bakasura doesn't seem to have that same level of luck.
However, even though Snoopy's not having the greatest position for himself, his team, though, are a little bit better off than they were last game round. They are down in gold, however, as we did see a Fire Giant taken by SoaR, where we were talking about that there, for free.
That's right. And I don't know how Bakasura fights a Vamana. Especially with this build, like if he had a stone-cutting sword like we see Awilix has, that would be one thing. He'd have some level of defense, extra movement speed. If he had a chin size to get that insane level of health off, I mean, let's take a look at the build. He's got health on, what, 2 of his 5 items, and a lot of it. Instead, he goes into extra critical damage. So he's relying on luck more than ability, and so far the luck hasn't been paying off.
Well, tier 1 tower does fall down for SoaR on the left-hand side. Luminosity have to give that one up. Baskin split pushing on the right-hand side here as well. No teleport on the side of Luminosity. They'll be having to rely on BaRRaCCuDDa's ultimate if they want to stop split pushing going on.
Let's talk a little bit about Vamana now. He has damage, he has control, and while he doesn't have a lot of extra auto attack advantage, his...
Oh my god, Andy got evaporated, but Snoopy's here looking to aggress. He's below half. Yankee impaled him into the wall. Deletion. BaRRa comes in looking for the pick on Yankee, but Jigz with a Grail. BaRRa's not done though. He wants that kill on Yankee, but he'll pay the price potentially. He does get Metyankey, but does he get out? No. Hurriwind secures the kill, and Homie turns to JeffHindla, who's just trying to buy time.
There's nowhere to go. Jeff's going to fall. He'll get the stun off, but it winds up being a 5-for-1 trade. BaRRaCCuDDa over-aggressing to find the kill into Metyankey. The tunnel vision kicks in, and BaRRaCCuDDa winds up trading a very important life for one that I don't think SoaR is going to miss too much.
And now with that, with the Fire Giants still have 4 members, and the front line is all healthy. They can just go for their Phoenix. Respawn time is over 20 seconds left on most of the Gods of Luminosity. Get a Phoenix, get a tier 2 tower mid. Job's good, go back to base. Is that the call here?
I don't know, man. With
Andy
Andy coming up, I don't think they can end. But I think Andy's going to at least show his face here. I want to see them go for the kill.
Well, they're just going to retreat immediately. Not even look towards tier 2 tower mid lane. They'll take the win at 26 minutes in. Good performance from SoaR in that fight once again. Luminosity engaged it.
And the timing, by the way, is flawless. Because not only are they going to get that on the left side, but Gold Fury's up. They're going to be able to steal the red in the jungle, and there's no Fire Giant to take. They still have the buff. They lose nothing at all by going for this.
I'm looking at the composition of Luminosity, and I think the issue is with Snoopy being far behind as well. They've only got Jeff for initiation, right?
Right.
And then their self-peel is another thing that's an issue, or peel for the team. There's not much of it. There's only really Bacchus with a stun, with the Intoxicate. After that, who are you expecting on the rest of the lineup to peel for your team?
You know, it's Metyankey for me that is really making this ridiculous outplay in that last fight. Snoopy blinks in for the initiation, and Metyankey goes, okay, I'm going to activate Sanctuary, and when that Sanctuary is over, I know for a fact that your ult is going to be no longer CC immune.
So I can impale.
Immediately sticks him to the wall and takes him out of the fight completely.
BaRRaCCuDDa, though, tried to answer back, but Jigz found the great ultimate straight away onto him. Knew it pinpoint accuracy when BaRRa was going to go for it. And I think that upset BaRRa a little bit. I think that's why we saw BaRRa commit, because he was like, damn it.
Sure, I mean, that's... Tunnel vision is a very real thing. And it can affect a player at a very weird time. Like, BaRRaCCuDDa is not the type of player to dash into 3 people.
It's true.
But when you were winning the early game because you're 4-0, and now you're losing the end game because you're 4-1, right?
Yep.
You dive into 3 people and you turn yourself into 5-2.
Well, now we're going to see SoaR after taking the Phoenix on the left-hand side. Luminosity sending 2 over there to defend it and just continue farming up. Fire Giant still on them for a little bit of time. Actually, no, he's just worn off, I should say. It's up in 40 seconds or less. And we'll see if Luminosity are going to try and defend this one and be in a position to do so, because this Fire Giant is what it's all about now for Luminosity. They need this.
And there's no Witchblade. There's no Frostbound Hammer. There's no Midgardian Mail. There's no Runic Shield. There's no Odin Ult. There is nothing to reduce attack speed on the side of Luminosity going up against 2 Hunters and a Vamana. I just don't know what to say about that. Luminosity shows, again, a weakness in build, and I think this has always been their one true piece of kryptonite, is their ability to build.
Mechanics, amazing.
Teamwork, unbelievable.
Communication should be way up there, especially with some of the members of that team.
I mean, JeffHindla is the most communicative member. He calls out literally everything. He has enough communication for 3 people. And then Andy is a tactics master. I mean, he led 2 teams to go to Worlds in dramatic fashions. But, I mean, the builds, Snoopy building into crit on Bakasura with not a lot of movement speed, no real way to catch up aside from the Fatalis. Leveling eat minion second, very strange. Andy going into pure damage, no defense when he's getting picked off a lot. BaRRaCCuDDa, of course, I think build pretty, fairly correctly. And then you have JeffHindla with a perfect build as well. BaRRaCCuDDa's build is gorgeous. I love the Brawler's Beat Stick finish.
Yeah, just at the end, extra penetration, but reduce the healing, which is an important factor when there's a meditation and a big baby on the enemy team that you can see Baskin poking away at, which will give an idea. He's even got a ward. He's not even got a ward there, has he? Did he just blind fire?
Can we actually see up there?
I don't see he's got a ward.
Does he? I mean, we see a regular ward.
He fired that blind, I swear.
I think that must have been a blind shot.
He was just like, okay, go for you. Sorry, Fire Giant started up. BaRRaCCuDDa in the left-hand side. He needs to get over here soon. The shot should have come out, but Snoopy being abducted immediately. They turn their attention to but Bacchus with a huge intoxicate on 4 members of the team, but he's getting crit to high heaven. He's got no flop to get away. Barry's in the sky. Jeff will limp away from the battle for now. On the left-hand side, Snoopy has to disengage. Andy has to disengage, but the Fire Giant stands for now.
BaRRaCCuDDa and BaRRaCCuDDa still around. BaRRaCCuDDa does have his ultimate, a fair amount of steel, but they're going to call to give this up.
I mean, to be fair, what else are you going to go in with? You've used your Intoxicate. You've got that on cooldown. Snoopy's not able to get in Barry's ult. He can't split push anymore and try and force somebody to come over and peel. So instead, they give it up.
And I said this last game, the only way SoaR really throws is if they throw at a Fire Giant. They get Fire Giant down to about 20%, where 2 Hunters could really finish that up. But they're like, on the off chance that someone comes from behind and steals this, we're going to reset it, we're going to kill somebody, and we're going to go back for it once we've pushed them out. They do it masterfully.
Jigz and the boys of SoaR take the tier 2 tower. Jigz was on zone duty again, leading from the forefront with Baskin tanking it up for the team. They head to the weakened Phoenix though, first of all. They're not going to overdo it and make a mistake that we've seen teams do against Luminosity in the past.
And check out the positioning. No one goes right near the Phoenix right away. 1 person goes to the minions, 2 people go into the lane, 1 person into the jungle, and 1 starts walking up slowly to peek. This ensures that they have control over the entire area and will know if they're getting ganked.
2 Hunters do not take a long time to shred down these Phoenixes. The only thing remaining is a 1 in mid lane and 1 in the right-hand side too. There's a ward there, so Luminosity know exactly where they are. They may look for a pick from Andy, but if they can find it.
If there's a time for Snoopy luck to kick in for these crits, it would be now. He's going to blink in.
Used. There's Snoopy. He's looking for the evaporation, not going to find it. Illusion detonates away from him. Baskin creating a zone with that big baby frame. The Phoenix is still alive as Homiefe looking for the pick on Snoopy. Misses the dragon. Ultimate is up.
He's going to catch you. Bakasura, no beads. Snoopy just gives up.
Gonna go in as well. Now he's Homiefe looking for the pick on BaRRaCCuDDa as well, but mezzed out he is. Meanwhile, JeffHindla forced back to the Titan. Luminosity look like they're going to fall down 0-2 here to SoaR, who have been touted as a potential top team. They're starting to get back to winning ways here, though, Diem. They look pretty good today.
Baskin using that bulwark beautifully as BaRRaCCuDDa comes in, trying to find a kill. He gets comboed to death. JeffHindla to the ground as well, and BaRRaCCuDDa will follow them into the grave, and it's going to be a clean ending for SoaR. 2-0 over the former world champions.
22-14 at 32.5 minutes in the game. SoaR climbed to 5-3 now. They were really near the bottom, surprisingly. Even though they were 3-3, they weren't that high up in the charts, but now it's helped them out a lot.
I mean, we have Luminosity, we have SoaR, Envy, Enemy, Eager, Denial, Allegiance, right? Like, all of these guys are showing that they're playing close enough to defend these top 3 spots.
Sure.
And so far, only Enemy is really making a case that they're going to Sweden.
And the funny thing is, SoaR in that game, I was like, if they don't perform here, at least show me something. It's kind of mid-table for me. I don't see them getting that top 4 spot. But after that performance, what a play! What a great game from them. Let's go back to First Blood though. At the beginning of the game. All the way back when.
Luminosity.
I'm pretty sure it was Luminosity.
Luminosity. They got the first, I think, 2 kills of the game, actually.
Yeah. Was it on Andy?
It's duo lane. Duo lane. Both the duo lane.
Jeff. Of course it was Jeff.
First it's going to be the giant meat swing. Jeff going to find that kill, and then right after, Metyankey finds himself in a weird spot, goes into the jungle, and gets picked off on the rotation.
I will give credit to Jeff there. I give him game 1 on that Sobek. Didn't have the greatest performance of the challenge plays, but his flops in that game, his engagement was very, very good and important for that team that game.
And even though BaRRaCCuDDa started 4-0, and that's something in the days of old that would have resulted in a game over, right? We have Metyankey here playing his heart out.
People have spoke about Metyankey and the fact that his transition to this Hunter role has been amazing. He's doing work that people are loving about him. Very aggressive, very dangerous in the lane. Mechanics seem to be on point, as you can see there. And even if every Desert Fury shot landed them.
And then here he is again on left lane. This is when Snoopy is going to get a pretty big play here. He's going to go in pretty deep. Watch for the ultimate. Damage coming out. Metyankey, actually, he didn't even Aegis.
Fury. And then, by the time Desert Fury wears off, impales. He dies there, but Jigz keeps him alive to make sure BaRRa dies too.
I actually would have liked to see the end of that play, because even though Metyankey does wind up going down, I think it's a testament to how good Jigz played that game.
The whole team played very, very well. Good performance by SoaR. What a crazy day, though. But we do have somebody on the line.
Baskin will be joining us today, solo lane extraordinaire, constantly in the conversation for best player in the world. Finds himself not on the world champion team anymore, yet with a team of a group of friends. It was rumored that he was not going to be playing as seriously, and yet taking down Luminosity in a 2-0. Baskin, tell us how you're feeling.
We're feeling really good. Luminosity, we're like really good friends with them. I kind of compare our relationship to like the Cog Red, Cog Prime relationship of like a year ago, I think. They're basically just like 2 teams that are like really friendly with each other, and like they're scrim partners as well.
They are scrim partners as well. Okay. I mean, you could feel some of that in the playstyle of the early game, because it seemed very, not necessarily passive, but very tactically minded from both the teams in game 1, where it was a low kill count early on. Was there any certain reason for that? Is it just because you know each other so well?
Yeah, I do think it's because we just know how we play. Like we just like know exactly what the other team's gonna do. We also have very similar play styles. We both like to be like really aggressive, and like we like to pick like pressure comps and stuff. So usually in scrims there are more kills, but I think we just did a good job of stealing their buffs and getting objectives early.
So talk to me a little bit about the Eager games. We didn't expect you guys to drop games to Eager, and going 0-2 and then coming back and 2-0ing Luminosity. Do you think it's familiarity with your opponents? Maybe strange playstyles from Eager, off day? A lot of people expected that to go in your favor, and Zatman and the boys came out strong.
Yeah, not obviously not to take anything away from Eager, but we all of us were having like really like off days. Like I probably played the worst that I have in like a long time, and also, like, Eager scrimmed on the PTS, so they were able to test out Scylla and the new Soulstone that was recently buffed, and we didn't have any experience against it because the patch came out like quite like recently.
So why not practice on the PTS?
Well, they were able to get scrims on PTS, but we were only able to get scrims on like live client. But in hindsight, we probably should have just prepared better. But yeah, it was just like an off day, and Eager played really, really well. And so we just weren't prepared. Out
of interest with North America for you, Baskin, who would you say at the moment is probably going to be the 3 teams to go to DreamHack? Because I don't think anyone could call it from the viewpoint. The fans don't know. We don't know. What do you think is one of the players actually involved in these games?
It's actually really hard to tell right now. MV actually recently had a roster change. I think it was announced today.
What?
So, huh?
What?
Yeah, Mask got replaced by Ionic. It was just announced today.
Hey, didn't they say they should do that like 3 weeks? Anyway, wow, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
okay.
Rosters are gonna lock soon, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a us, Luminosity, and honestly, I'm not sure about the third. Probably Enemy, just because they got off to such a good start.
They're like 9-0.
Yeah, they're 9-1 right now. Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Congratulations on your win today, though, Baskin. Fantastic performance from you and the boys of SoaR, climbing you to 5-3. Do you have any shout-outs to give before we let you go?
I guess just shout-outs to my team and shout-outs to our sponsor, SoaR. We love them.
Cool.
They're the best.
Thanks so much for joining us, Baskin. Good luck in the future games as well. Pleasure to watch. And that concludes the North American Pro League for today. But still, coming up, we have some North American console qualifier action. However, let's look at the standings and see how today's performance is reflected.
9-1. Enemy continues their reign of terror over North America. Luminosity 6-4. Right behind.
Right behind 6-6 is Envy, and SoaR's catching them up now thanks to that double win, so that 2-game win over Luminosity as well. And then when you look at the bottom end, I mean, the worst case is 4-6 for Allegiance there, which shows they're still not out of the running.
Of course, Monday Night Smite as well. Don't forget, this week, Pain versus Pern returns. Last time, Pain definitely got the better of him. Pern on a much different roster, although so is Pain de Viol.
Well, take into account, Enemy just beat Envy today. Eager coming off some pretty big win against SoaR recently as well. So we'll see how those two work out for themselves. I'm excited, actually, to see where that one will go, because I feel like he might be able to get an inkling of who's the better team.
You know, we heard Baskin just now say that he thinks that everyone was having an off day on SoaR when they lost to Eager. And I'm not here to say that that was true or not true. Going into the game, I don't think that they were playing the best that we've ever seen them.
Yep.
But Eager won that game, to me, fair and square, all because of the fact that they practiced on the PTS. You know, we just heard Baskin say, you know, they only got scrims on live. I'd be scrimming on the PTS. Zatman is smart to make sure that his team and his scrim partners are practicing the most current content to ensure that then when they go in, they don't have anything surprise them, like Best's 18-2 Scylla.
18-2 Scylla. Will he be able to repeat it tomorrow? We'll find out. However, that's the end of North American SPL Today. Console up next on your screens. We'll be back from the finals of the North American Console qualifiers.